You don't even give me a countdown anymore. You just fucking mash the button.
You know what? I'm just disgusted right now. I don't even want to fucking be here.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tipped Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my two Hollywood-type co-hosts. Yeah. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
Oh, and behind the computer making a sound. All right,
behind the computer doing nothing as usual.
It is Bruce, the Tugboat Venditti.
What's up?
What's up?
That's it? Oh, wow.
Nothing for 6
what
hours
a fucking
a day.
morale-boosting opener we have today. Him all fucking angry, you all fucking
Listen, if
monotone.
I have to constantly hear I woke up at 4:30, yeah, it gets kind of fucking annoying.
You want to tell him about your day?
Oh, really?
Tell
really?
him what you did so far today. Go ahead.
You want to know what I've done? I've rubbed it out twice, fucking worked fucking 8 hours, and waited for you. And you got up at 9:30, crawled out of bed, went to the gym, dehydrated, and came here. 7 hours later. Worthless. Useless. No chick is ever going to want you. You're going to have to pay for ass for your whole life. Sorry. Didn't mean
anything to say? Get this out of the way so we can get going here. That's it? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Take them glasses off. I want to see the whites of your eyes.
Nope.
Huh?
Oh.
You just don't like how cool I look right now.
Yeah, you're cool. Yeah, the gym legend, right?
Well, yeah, Bruce.
Legend.
Bruce the Tugboat. If you follow him on Instagram, at what is it? Bruce_Tugboat.
Yeah.
Bruce_Tugboat on Instagram posted a video the other day of him comparing himself to Arnold walking into the gym and just being a gym legend and everybody just needing to shake your hand and show you the love.
That
you
was
deserve.
just a jacked meme from Jacked Memes.
Oh, at Jacked Memes
that I put up there. Yeah.
Well,
what gym do you go to?
LA Fitness.
What is it?
LA Fitness.
LA Fitness.
So
I wouldn't tell anybody I go to LA Fitness.
I have to like speak up because you're hearing aid.
Anyway,
so
don't they have like a Gold's Gym anymore?
They
Powerhouse.
I go to
Powerhouse.
I go to Powerhouse.
Powerhouse is the biggest scam on the planet.
Really?
Why?
I used to go there when I was a kid, dude. Them guys were absolute monsters that were there.
Fucked me. Over the whole Corona thing, they were like, "All right, you can come in for $15 a month," and I was like, "Okay." I signed up. Then they changed all my billing. I ended up paying like $100. I was like, "Fuck this."
Did you read the contract?
No.
Exactly.
There you go. That's what happens when you don't.
Yeah,
read.
but guess what? LA doesn't do that. You know.
Shout out to Locke Personal Training.
They like their
Joe Locke.
little Pinochas that
I
go.
would like
there
to go
too.
to Crunch.
What's a Pinocha?
Crunch is shit.
Huh?
What's a Pinocha?
Should I translate that for you?
Yeah.
The pussies that go to LA Fitness.
Oh.
Anyways,
wow, we are off
few
to a
people that could come over here and beat your ass.
yeah, I'll bet you a fucking $1 that they won't.
I'll bet you $10
Okay.
they will.
Hey, what?
Just because they're big don't mean shit. Believe me.
What would I have to do to get you two?
I'm a combat sport guy.
What would I have to do to get you two in a ring?
What's that?
What would I have to do to get you and Bruce to go at it?
Kill Bruce.
Pay raise.
Don't make me kill Bruce.
What would you take a fight with Bruce?
Would I?
Yeah.
I would fight for Bruce because I think people would pick on him.
But would you fight Bruce?
No.
Like
because Bruce is just Bruce, dude.
That's
like picking on the weak kid at school. That's not fair.
Yeah, but this would be good for the show because you.
What? I'm not saying it. Listen, I get it. You work out. You're strong.
Yeah, but you're down a meniscus.
I'm sorry.
You're down a meniscus.
Oh, I'm down a meniscus, dude. I got heart disease. I got 2 broken hands, broken fingers.
That's why it'll probably be a fair fight.
No, it
what
wouldn't
if we did it? Headgear.
There's an experience factor there that can't.
Well, it could be age versus beauty.
No.
Do I have the reach on him?
I'm sure he does have the reach on me.
Sure. I have the wingspan of a sparrow.
I have the wingspan of a sparrow.
Would you fight him?
A T-Rex?
Would you take a fight with Uncle Sam?
I'd fight Bruce in a heartbeat, dude.
You just said you wouldn't.
I would love to tag you on the chin one time just to see if you could take it.
I'd get in the WWE ring with him.
No. If you guys will do it,
No, I'm not doing that.
I'll get
I'm
a ring.
old. I can't do that. I have a heart attack.
That's okay. If it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, that's true.
Viking burial. Okay. Anyways, that was a great opener there. Now there's for sure nobody. Before we get into it, I want to talk about a different tipped venture Bruce has been on as of late, and that is tipped gaming.
Oh, Christ.
The tugboat, along with they're called captains, right? Co-captain Ryan.
Co-captain Ryan.
Co-captain
Shout
Ryan.
out to Ryan. He's laying on a beanbag over here.
Also known
which
as
is tipped_fuse, F-U-Z-E, tipped_fuse.
F-U.
You need to follow tipped_fuse, Bruce_tugboat, and tipped gaming on Instagram. They are on Twitch pretty much every night. They've posted some pretty incredible content. Bruce might not be that great at life, but he is good at video games. I'll say that much. Because they posted some video last night, and I was like, this is actually pretty fucking cool. So go check them out.
What is it?
Me running rotations.
Tipped gaming.
What were you doing?
Running rotations.
Rotation of what?
Jackass over here kept going down, and he was down. Like he was
Going down what?
He was like, he got killed, but not fully killed.
Playing what?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty? Why don't you call my brother? He's flipped that game like 50 times. You want to see some video? I'm sure he can give you some stupid video.
Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Tony.
Uh,
That's what he was. He was like,
Have him on
he was
Tipped
like
Gaming,
the
tipped gaming.
he was like the gamer on that. Him and Barry Ganatic. Shout out to Barry Ganatic, Matt Ganatic's older brother, military retired. I don't know. He was a bomb squad guy or something like that. All he did was smoke dope and play Call of Duty.
All day.
And that's probably what you're doing too, right?
Minus the dope part.
But yeah, okay.
Bruce is off.
I
Bruce
believe
is
that.
off the sheesh as of late.
I don't believe that.
Well, that's not. I mean,
So if I drug test you, you'll piss clean?
not necessarily true.
What does that mean?
I take a few hits of my indica pen before I go to bed.
Okay, so
Hard
it's
to
weed
sleep.
pen. There you go. See, I told you.
I have trouble sleeping.
Anyways,
So what do you wanna
do you guys play anything other than Call of Duty?
We're gonna play some Madden.
Oh, good Madden tournament. Oh, I'd love to see Uncle Sam versus
We could
you in
all
Madden
have
tournament.
a Madden tournament down here.
Oh, that's a good idea. So we're gonna have a tipped gaming Madden tournament.
Yeah,
I'm here for all fucking. that'll be-
probably some PUBG
I don't know what that is.
because fuck Fortnite sucks.
Okay.
It's the same. It's a realistic version of Fortnite.
Why are you so quiet today? You need to fucking guess.
Because my mic is actually not. It's all the way up.
Oh,
I'm not. So I don't have to scream.
so what else?
Womanly high voice.
So 7:00 on. Is there any certain days, or is it just luck of the draw?
Right now, we're trying to figure out a time.
Okay.
We need more viewers.
Well-
and then we'll figure out, a time.
I watched last
Sad.
night for like a half hour.
Did you actually?
I did. I was watching. I didn't sign up to comment
Oh.
because that was too much for my brain to handle.
Garrett was watching too.
Was he
Yeah, he watches every time.
actually?
They're all high, that's why.
So, but yeah, follow Tipped Gaming. Follow tipped_FUZE. Follow Bruce Tugboat. They will update you on when they are
Can't believe we're
live
talking
on
about
Twitch.
video games right now.
Huh?
Can't
You
believe-
said you're the overlord of Dungeons and Dragons or whatever the fuck it is that you play. Why don't
me?
you get on there and do it?
Dungeons and Dragons.
What the fuck do you play? You play the weirdest
plays
fucking...
Dungeons and
For
Dragons?
honor.
Yeah, for honor.
That's right.
And El Sueño Loco.
That's right.
Whatever the
I'll
fuck
whack
that shit
that
is.
shit right off.
Why don't you get a fucking
Off
Twitch
with your
account and
head.
go on there with them? You could be part of the Steno clan for Tipped Gaming.
I'm not gaming anything.
Okay.
All I know is this.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of retirees this week.
Okay.
Are we going to talk about that or?
Well, that was my next.
We're just
Okay,
shooting the
go
shit.
Yeah, right now we're trying to introduce Tipped Gaming to
Anyway,
people. But yes, there were some retirements this week. Some 25-year-old defensive tackle for the Lions retired. Don't understand that one. Somebody else, Colts receiver. I can't remember his name. Hold on.
was that John Penis?
John
Finney?
John Penis? in it.
Finney? John Piscini? For the Lions? He retired?
Johncock.
How did he retire at 25? He just came into the league. What did he? I don't get it. What, he played 1 year and
Maybe he had some family issues. He had to.
Yeah,
Or
more,
change of
maybe,
heart.
who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
you got to remember some of these guys. He was a 6th-round draft pick. If you can go out and get a job or you're educated, you're not really going to play football that much. You can go out and get a job that's going to pay you well. Why would you put your body through the turmoil to make
I just don't know what kind of a guy playing on an NFL team that low end is making $300,000 to $400,000 a year, unless he's a fucking doctor. He's not going to make that kind of money.
Well, okay. Think about it this way: if you are in the NFL and you got,
Right.
the average NFL career is 3 to 5 years.
Right.
So, I mean, stop and think about it. Would you rather play on a
I
minimum
would
salary?
play for 3 years and make as much money as possible.
Well, if you go out and make 100 or 200 G's working, and that's going to last you 20 or 30 years, do that.
Maybe
Don't put your body through the turmoil. I roll with
He
that.
had a health
25
issue.
years old, dude. I ran through a frickin' brick wall at 25. Are you kidding me? Bunch of
You
goddamn
must have been the man back in the day.
guys kill me.
Oh,
Guys are all a
when
bunch
I
of-
used to work at Randazzo's, he used to show me pictures. This was me doing push-ups on the side of Randazzo's,
Yeah,
looking all yoked.
yeah. I used to do incline push-ups on my fingers, 100 of them in 60 seconds.
Hold on.
Asshole.
How many push-ups do you think you could do right now?
I couldn't do that, no.
How many do you think you could do?
I don't know, dude.
Before his
I
heart
couldn't do the
explodes?
incline ones anymore.
Regular old-fashioned push-ups, how many do you think you could
I
knock
don't
out
know
right
why.
now? If you got on the ground and did it right now,
I'm
how
not
many
getting
could
on
you
the
do?
ground.
I want to see a push-up contest
If
right
Bruce,
now.
Bruce could do 160 seconds. He'll gain a little respect from me.
Let's see how
Come
many you
on
can do.
over
I'll
here,
turn the camera on.
Put your feet up on that couch. Get down here and pop out 60. And I mean real push-ups, not the half.
Do it on the ground right there. I'll turn the cameras on you right
Real ones.
We're really about to do this.
now. Let's go.
Come on. Come on, asshole. Don't touch my camera. Leave it alone. I'm not doing it. He's doing it. Get off. No, put your feet up on the steps, asshole. All right. I mean full push-ups, too. Don't half-ass it. One, nah,
two,
nah, 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 nah.
three,
Nah, 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 nah.
What is wrong
All the
with
way
you?
up, asshole.
I'm going all the way
All
up.
the
I
way
can feel
down.
my ass touching
all
my
the way
back.
up.
Start it over.
One, two,
two,
three,
three.
4. You're getting lower and lower. Up. 5, 6,
What is this, the fucking
7,
military?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, see, you're not going all the way up. Been leading all the time.
40.
Hey, hold on a second.
One.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Go back down. I'm going to show you how to do an actual push-up.
Go. You show them
No,
how to do it.
because
Get down.
because
Get
this,
down and do one. And
Listen.
show them how to do it.
your hands are over here by your fucking stomach. Get down
That's
here.
where they're
and I'll-
supposed to be.
Bullshit.
This
Get
isn't
down.
the 50s, all right? They didn't know the
50s?
techniques
Get
that
down.
you
I'll
need
show
to
you
do.
how to do it. Get down. Get down like you were. Put your fucking feet up there and stop being a pussy. Okay? Now get your hands up. No.
Your shoulders
Get,
have to
get
be
them up
back.
higher. A little further up. Further up.
All right, let's
Okay?
do it like we're in the 50s.
Now get on
so
your
that I have
fucking
joint
fingers.
damage when I'm
Get on your
fucking-
fingers, asshole. There you go. Hey, in the ground like this. Like this.
I can't do
Ready?
One. Now
Go.
do it.
Oh, yeah, this
Come on.
this
One.
is really good for the joints, you know?
2, 3. That's how you. What?
It's
That's
not how
you
you do
bust
a
it
push-up.
out. Yeah.
Not how you
Get
do
out.
a push-up.
You guys fucking suck.
You know, I know what I would love to see because
Yeah.
we're already down. We already went down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Would you arm wrestle Bruce?
No,
Why?
I can't.
Why?
I can't.
Think something will break?
I'm not good right now. I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
Look at,
Can we
I'm not
set-
an arm wrestler.
look at the
Can we
size of
set
his
that up for
forearm.
later?
Huh?
We set
I'm not
that
an
up.
arm wrestler. I'm not. Never been one.
Yeah, but you just have forearms like fucking oak trees.
Well, that's a long time ago, dude.
No, you-
I'm out of shape. I'm not in shape anymore.
So you can't arm wrestle?
Huh?
You're out of shape, so you can't arm wrestle?
It's not that, dude. My tendons don't move the way they used to.
That's because you do push-ups. Your arms up here.
A
Anyway,
lot to do that though. That almost wrecked you, dude. Finger
That's
boy.
not good for
that
you.
almost wrecked you.
It's not good for you.
you guys want to talk about football now?
Yeah. Let's talk about
Steelers have made safety Minka Fitzpatrick the highest paid safety ever in the NFL, averaging $18.7 million per year.
Not bad for a guy who got traded his second year.
Right?
Second year in the league, huh?
No, that's a nice payday for Minka Fitzpatrick, and that gives the Steelers a shining star on their defense. I think that was a good deal for both sides.
Absolutely, it was. Without him, they'd be in trouble. They got a real young secondary.
Outside of that, Lamar Jackson is now with the team for the first time this offseason. That's a good sign because I did not want to see Baltimore be a joke again this year. I'm glad he got there. Who knows if they'll get a deal worked out or not. He'll probably play on the tag regardless. Let's see what happens there. We're going to keep an eye on that situation. But I really wanted Baltimore to be good this year. And without Lamar, they wouldn't have if Lamar would have pulled the holdout situation. So I'm happy. I was waiting to get that news because I don't think Lamar Jackson is that money hungry, I'll sit out and wait kind of guy. Obviously, his agents are pressuring him, but I know that he's a guy who wants to play and wants to be on the field, so I'm glad to see that he's there. Other than that, we're in football purgatory, so there's not really all that much to report to you guys as far as news goes. I do have a topic I want to discuss today in detail, but before we do that, I want to talk about fantasy. So once we get into the swing of things, so probably beginning of August, we are going to do a different schedule set up here altogether. But we are going to come out with a fantasy show every week, a show that is strictly fantasy football. We're going to talk about nothing but fantasy football. Okay, it might not look like it because we kind of look like assholes most of the time, but outside of Bruce, there's a lot of fantasy football knowledge here.
Hey, I do pretty well, even though
You hold your own,
yeah.
even though you
I don't make any trades.
You don't do any trades. You don't pick up anybody. You deal with what you have, and then usually get
Sometimes it
absolutely
works.
ass penetrated on a trade or two. Uncle Sam is, how do I put this?
A has-been?
Well, I'm trying to think of, you're like
I take people that nobody even knows who they are.
the Kenny Galladay of fantasy football.
Why would you say that?
You showed a lot of you're never the best, but you showed a lot of promise, and then
I think I do more with less than anyone.
yeah, but your more is going from starts out the year to be projected to finish in 14th and finishes in like 8th.
Well, I did better than that last year.
I feel like you do too much.
No, what did you finish in
Because you're
last?
constantly,
you wanna know what happens to me?
making trades.
You want to know what happens
we
to me
go.
every year? Because I trade somebody else all my good players. That's not happening this year.
That's what I'm saying. You do too much.
So
No,
Sometimes
it's
you gotta,
not that, dude.
You gotta have faith in
I
a guy
I
on your
trade
team.
for guys I should.
listen to me. I gave you the keys to the kingdom last year, and you couldn't fucking win. Who gave you Cordero Patterson?
I beat him both times.
I gave you Zeke Elliott for him.
Yeah, who won that trade?
Down the stretch?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
you.
No.
Cordero Patterson finished like 4th or 5th. Zeke barely played. I gave you a quarterback.
You can fuck off with that. I'll never trade you for another quarterback
I
ever
gave
again.
Dak Prescott. That was a fuck.
Dak fucking Prescott.
Which sucks because
Me and him both traded ourselves. Me and him both traded ourselves out last year.
Out
but
of the league. We
Yeah.
traded ourselves out of the playoffs.
yeah, I
Because we
had
tinkered too
Michael
goddamn
Pittman.
much.
I had a fucking beautiful roster, and I absolutely
I had a
dominated it.
chance last year, which was kind of fucked up.
Anyway, so we all participate in a league called the Varsity right now. We'll keep you guys updated on that. And on the fantasy show, we're going to bring in a couple of the guys we play with and have them talk about their game strategies and stuff. We're all fantasy veterans here. Are we experts by any means? No. But are we fantasy veterans? And are we men of the people? Regular dudes who can talk to you about fantasy? Yes. On top of that, we are going to have 2 Tipped Balls exclusive leagues. Okay? For any listeners and viewers of the show, we are going to have the Tip Balls Fan League, where all 3 of us will be in it, and then the other 11 spots we are going to give away to listeners of the show. So if you are listening and you would like a spot in the Tipped Fans League, reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Carrier Pigeon. Don't give a shit.
Email.
Email, tipballs@gmail.com, or message Bruce, me. Don't message Uncle Sam. He won't figure it out. Message one of us, and we will get you guys a spot in the league. It's going to be fun. All Fans League, 1 full point PPR, team defense, all of it. There will be prizes given out all the time. The champions will have a prize. We're still trying to figure that out. And then we're doing...
Who the fuck just hit me up on Instagram? That's what he would be saying.
Jesus Christ. I thought there was some breaking news or something.
No.
And then we're going to do the Tipped Champions League. So the Tipped Champions League is going to be extremely competitive. And the champion of the Tipped Champions League, Tipped Balls is going to send them to the Super Bowl.
Pretty interesting, huh?
So there's going to be a little bit of a different process for that. There is a buy-in. We're still trying to figure out what the buy-in is, and we're going to do an auction-style draft, which is awesome. So if you are a listener of the show and you'd like to participate in the Tipped Champions League, again, hit us up on one of the social channels. We'll explain to you everything with the buy-in and all the other ramifications of the Tipped Champions League, but we will be sending someone to the Super Bowl. So if you have any fantasy interest, questions, concerns, comments, any of the above, shit you want to see, hit us up on our socials, and we will get back to you with all of that. Or email us, tipballs@gmail.com.
I still have the Vashon, by the way.
The what?
The Vashon.
What's that?
The ass of a horse for coming in last place.
That's terrible. We named the last place trophy the Vashon.
Some shit like that.
Wow! Shout out to Danny Vachon, De La Salle, class of 2013. we named our worst team
I didn't know
trophy
that.
after you. I didn't know that either. I
I
forgot
have no
about that.
idea what.
Are we gonna do trophies this year?
You've gotten that trophy before, last place.
I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
Technically,
2 years
it's
ago, you
supposed to
finished
go
in
to
last,
Garrett.
didn't you?
No,
Or you finished in second to last that year.
I've never finished last.
It's always this year.
Technically, it's supposed to go to Garrett.
Garrett finished in last.
No. It was the year before last. And
Who
I
finished
never-
in dead last year? Was it Leon? I think it
It
was.
was between him and
Can I
Between him
look?
and Garrett.
Is it still on there?
Yeah, if you go into the app. it'll
between
be-
him and Garrett.
Yeah. And you want the worst part about it was Garrett was projected to finish in first.
Yeah.
And just due to lack of competency, finished in absolute dead last. But we're going to have a bunch of the guys that we play with on the show to talk to you about what we do. PJ was our champion last year. So we will have him
Back
on
the year
here to
before.
talk about their strategies. But yeah, stay tuned with us on that. And if you're interested in the league, reach out to us on our social channels to get more information and get your spot to play with us.
I just remembered what my name was.
What was your name?
Columbus Bishop Sacramore.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Fake team.
I want to talk about the city of Detroit today. And I want to talk about rivalries in sports, mainly football, because we have to. But the state of Detroit sports right now is probably worse than any city in the country. Let's start there. We have a football team that hasn't won a relevant game in almost 30 years. The last time they won a division title was 1993. They've made the playoffs a couple of times and gotten absolutely ass-hammered in the first round of the playoffs. So the Lions, everyone in the world knows how historically fucking bad the Detroit Lions are. The Tigers right now are essentially last in every statistical offensive category outside of one where they're second to last. I'm not a baseball guy. I don't study it. All I know is they're fucking bad. The Red Wings are a young team that shows promise at times, but at the end of the day are fucking bad, as are the Detroit Pistons.
Trust the Yeiser plan.
As are the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham got some good young players, but predominantly bad. So, what was once a truly sports mecca, right? If you go back to the early 2000s, there was nothing better than being a Detroit sports fan outside of the Lions. But you had the Pistons competing for championships every year, right? They were always in the Eastern Conference Finals against Miami.
You go from the late 80s on to probably early 2000s.
Yeah.
Probably
Early
2010.
2000s.
2010.
Detroit was a good town to be in.
Yeah.
The Pistons had won. The Tigers have won.
The Red Wings won.
The Red Wings won championships. The Pistons went back in 06.
I think they went 04, 05, 06.
They went back and they had a nice run.
But
the Tigers had a nice run in 07.
06, 07,
06, 07,
06 to
08.
12.
Yeah.
The Tigers had a beautiful run.
Yeah.
And the last 10 years, realistically, the last 10 years have been an atrocity.
You could thank Al
Yeah.
Avila for that.
Well, so there were some incredible rivalries here. If you think back, even you were talking about the ones from the 80s, Like, there were some great rivalries here. Think about Pistons Bad Boys.
The 49ers in Dallas.
No, I'm talking about Detroit sports.
Oh, yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Still here. I mean, the Lions and the Tigers and the Cardinals. Tigers, White Sox.
Yankees, Tigers.
I mean, at one point, yes, that
Red
was.
Wings and the Blackhawks. That
Red
would
Wings,
be a
Black-
big rivalry.
Yeah.
Those no longer exist.
No.
There
Because the
isn't
teams are
one-
they've been irrelevant for the past 15 years.
Correct.
Not only Detroit, but our rivals.
Not the
Chicago,
Yankees.
they've been irrelevant.
Well,
They haven't won nothing since Jordan retired.
this leads me into
They're relevant.
This leads me into the NFL question.
Okay.
Is the great sports rivalry dead? Does it exist anymore? With the current state of affairs, especially in football, all right? And you have some rivalries that will live forever. Red Sox, Yankees. That rivalry will live forever. Those two teams will always fucking hate each other.
I think that's the biggest rivalry.
In sports, I would have to
yeah.
agree with it. That one I don't think could ever die. But-
I think the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry has been around for
That's like second on the list of biggest
100
rivalries.
years.
Yes, and
I
I,
don't think
agree
there's
with
anything
you.
bigger than that.
That's probably, or I mean, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah. No, Michigan, Ohio State still that in
Michigan
Yankees,
Ohio
Boston,
State's been around for over 120
those
years.
two are tip top.
Yes.
Now, this is what I'll say about the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. When one team, it's like this in any rivalry. When one team isn't good for a long time, the rivalry dies. The rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State was, Ohio State's going to beat Michigan every fucking year for a decade. Now, obviously, maybe the tide will turn on that going forward, but there's still a big question mark.
I think
there.
maybe the Michigan State-Michigan rivalry is actually getting bigger.
That's a hot.
That I still think is probably the hottest rivalry
In-
where we're at anyway.
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
That's still consistent.
Now, with college sports, I think a little bit more pride goes into their rivalries, their wins. They're playing for their school, it's their team. In pro sports, is rivalry a true blue-blooded rivalry dead?
I think so because when they started adding more teams and moving teams in divisions, I think that's taken away from some of the rivalry status. Like the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs was a huge rivalry, but it seems like the Raiders were so bad for so long,
Atrocious.
and Kansas City was so bad for quite a while. I mean, they've just gotten good since the 90s till now. But now you had, they moved to, the Raiders moved to Vegas. So, I mean, you don't really have that error about it anymore.
well, no, you got to build that fan base in Vegas before there's anything.
Well,
Well, the
to
fan base
come
from Vegas
back.
is basically they're driving from Oakland to Las Vegas, which is like a 2.5-hour drive. So it's not like they're totally out of it.
I'm gonna fact check that.
Okay, go ahead.
Oakland to Vegas is a 2.5
Oakland to Vegas
hour
is like
drive.
2.5-hour drive. Fact check me.
Are
on
you
that.
sure about that one?
I believe so. That's what Omar, me, and him were talking about, and he said it was like a 2.5, tops 3-hour drive from Oakland to Vegas.
Buffering. So it is 9 hours and 50 minutes to get from Oakland to Las Vegas, but
Or maybe it's to fly.
yeah, that would make a little bit more
Fly?
sense.
Fly, it's 2 hours.
Hold on.
2-hour flight.
Oh, there's one route that's 8 hours and 18 minutes, so it's a minimum
From Oakland?
of 8 hours. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Vegas is 4 hours from L.A., which is 6 hours from fucking Oakland.
Okay. Oh, maybe it was L.A. we were talking about
L.A.'s still 4
when they were
hours.
at L.A. Raiders.
Anyways,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry, it
I
might have
knew
been
that
that.
one didn't sound right. Beyond
But their fans do travel big time. The Black Hole, the Raider fans do travel big time.
beyond that, I think there's a different reason why rivalries in sports are dead. The age of the diehard fan, I think, is something that's leaving. your generation was one of the last generations that was die hard to the death. No matter how fucking putrid they are, we'll stand by the team. Because the current generation
Oh,
has...
you're a bunch of bandwagon
Right,
fuckers.
because they have too much other shit to consume their mind. So if a team's bad, they're not going to stay invested in it. Now,
I'll give you a prime example of that.
Oh,
The
here we go.
Golden State Warriors. Okay? When I was growing up, nobody liked the Golden State Warriors. Nobody. I bet you if I went up to a Golden State person and told them, hey, dude, you know who Chris Mullins is? They couldn't tell you. Do you know who Chris Mullins is? No? You know who
Mike
Tim Hardaway
Mullins,
was?
uncle?
Tim Hardaway?
Yes, everybody knows who Tim Hardaway is.
Tim Hardaway Sr.
Yes.
Senior.
Yes.
Do you know who he played for?
Correct.
Who did he play for?
Golden State.
Who was he drafted by? What years did he play?
I don't know. I don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah, I know you don't. I could tell. Who's the last guy you remember being drafted to the Golden State Warriors that you guys would know?
Probably Chris Webber.
Okay, you know who Chris Webber is.
Yeah.
I've told you this already, haven't I?
No.
Okay. I thought I did. Yeah, Chris Webber.
Was Steph Curry not drafted there?
No, he was.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's talking pre-Steph Curry.
Oh.
Yeah, the Golden State Warriors were a shithole.
I don't like basketball. But
Nobody
Steph Curry's fucking
wanted to admit
trash.
they even played with Golden State.
But
And now everybody and their mom is a bandwagon. I see Golden State shit everywhere now. It's because it's a bunch of bandwagoners.
Okay.
The NBA is the biggest bunch of bandwagon jumpers that there is in sports.
okay. As far as NFL rivalries go, why are they not as heated anymore? There's no passion in them. Like, if you stop and think about it right now, what big rivalry is there in the NFL?
Well, I still think you could call
Like Dallas and
the
Washington used
teams
to be
have
one of
to
the
be
greats.
successful.
Right.
And the problem is the success of a lot of these teams is not living that long. Now, you had said Buffalo and Kansas City.
Buffalo and Kansas City, I think, is going to be
has become,
our next great rivalry in
well,
football.
it's the last couple of years it has been.
Yeah, and I think
Absolutely.
that's going to continue to
But
grow.
that's starting to get a little one-sided. And unless Buffalo can turn it up and actually win
yeah,
one of
Buffalo
these
needs to
games,
win this year.
well,
Buffalo needs to beat
we'll
him.
see what happens.
And I think they will, personally. But I think that is one.
See, I think of the Lions in Green Bay.
Okay. I knew he was going to. He set me up perfect. Thank you. Thank you for setting me up perfect. You, as a Lions fan, consider Green Bay your rival.
Yeah.
Do you think there's one person in Green Bay who considers the Detroit Lions their rival?
No, not at all.
Correct. So is a
Why they
rivalry.
flood Ford
What
Field
did you
every year
say?
because they
Green
know
Bay and
they're gonna
Chicago is a
stumble.
bigger rivalry than
Yeah.
Detroit and
Yeah,
Green
but I
Bay?
remember my dad saying you wouldn't even want to go to Green Bay to see a game back in the day because if you were caught wearing a Lions jersey, they would beat the fuck out of you.
Right. But now,
That doesn't exist anymore.
in this day and age,
I would love to go there with a Lions jersey on.
So would I. And it will happen this year.
it is going to happen this year. But in this day and age, is a rivalry if both teams don't actually consider it a rivalry, right? Like, as Lions fans, people will sit there and say, oh, Green Bay is our biggest rival. Green Bay doesn't care if the Lions are, you know what I mean? You think Green Bay fans have the Lions circled on their calendar like Lions fans have Green Bay circled? No.
Listen, the only time Green Bay even feared the Lions was in the late 80s, early 90s when Sanders was there. And their success against Sanders even outdid that. The only time Green Bay was losing is when they'd come here. They could never go to Lambeau and win.
You want to know another thing I think really, really stunts that Lions-Packers rivalry? When do they always play? One of the games. The last game of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is
And that game is always
fucking irrelevant.
meaningless.
Irrelevant.
relevant to
it's
us,
meaningless.
but it's irrelevant
Yeah,
to
because
them.
Aaron Rodgers come out
Completely.
there and play for one quarter after they've already clinched the fucking 2 seed, and then come out of the game, the Lions win by a field goal, and every Lions fan will be, oh, we beat the Pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
who'd be in the middle of that? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's always that, like, that game is
But it
always
means
irrelevant.
nothing. It's a meaningless
Right.
game.
So
it's probably the most sold out game.
I think personally,
It's a meaningless game.
scheduling has a ton to do with rivalry. The way the NFL schedules games. Like, they know how to set some teams up and know how to fillet other teams. The Lions-Packers rivalry, why did you have them play on Thanksgiving?
That's literally what I was just about to say.
Why does
That would
Detroit
be
always
the
play
biggest
Chicago
game.
on Thanksgiving when they're both fucking
Or
terrible?
Cleveland. They played
Play
Cleveland
Cleveland.
for decades.
Who do they play this year on Thanksgiving?
Buffalo. That'll be a great
Yeah,
game.
see that.
Yeah.
That
The Lions will go out there and
the
get
NFL holding the middle finger up to Detroit,
Right.
saying, "Fuck
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Here,
We
you're
don't
gonna
want
play
you
the-
to have
You're
Thanksgiving
going to play probably
anymore."
the best team in the AFC, and you're going to play them on national television.
and get
Yep.
This is what the NFL's trying to do.
They're trying to
They
take
want
it
to
away.
take that game away from
Yep.
Detroit.
get absolutely
They've wanted to take it
ass-pummeled
away
on
from
national.
Detroit.
I
for
will go down
decades.
to wherever the hell the NFL
Decades.
headquarters is, wherever Roger Goodell is sitting, and punch him square.
You're going
in
to pull a Dave Portnoy and go
I will
march on
punch
the
him
fucking
square
NFL
in the
commissioner's
face if
building.
he ever takes that shit away from us. And I know out of the city I'm
They've been wanting to take that game away
from.
from the Lions for a long time. For a long time.
Okay. So,
But the bad thing is, all the teams that play on Thanksgiving Day, and I'm going to be honest with you, as disappointing as the Lions are, the Dallas Cowboys are just as disappointing.
I agree with that, too.
So guess what? They should take it away from them too.
Okay. I said it a
won't.
second ago. One of the greatest rivalries ever in the NFL was Cowboys-Redskins. Dallas
Yeah,
versus
well,
Washington.
they've already taken that away just because they turned the fucking Redskins into the Commanders.
Okay.
Because we offend people.
But-
Stupid.
But that rivalry is as solid as a wet paper bag now.
Well, because both of them teams are
Well,
irrelevant.
Dallas loses games they shouldn't, and Washington just sucks. Like, what is
Washington has been a shit show for
what
decades.
is the great rivalry? Okay, if you go back 10, 12 years ago, every time New England played Indianapolis, Brady versus
That was
Manning,
well,
the
you had the
entire
best.
country.
You had the two best guys going up against each other
Right,
in shootouts.
right.
And I don't think anybody would complain about that.
I wasn't even.
And for decades,
You said that.
let's be honest, the AFC for decades was ruling the roost.
That
The best
game-
teams were in the
I was
AFC.
thinking Patriots,
Just like now.
Dolphins.
Well, that
Just like now.
that game, always, the Indy New England game, was the pinnacle of every year. Everybody watched that game.
Or when it was a 3-year stretch when Gang Green was actually good.
Or Patriots Jets. That was an
yeah, that too.
awesome
Like, Gang
rivalry.
Green was good for them 3 years that LaDainian Tomlinson was there.
Yeah,
That game was probably the most televised games you watched.
right,
The Patriots against the Jets.
right. Or like, even if we go back a little,
The divisional
in
games were
recent
better.
history.
The divisional games were better than the Super Bowl.
right. That's what I'm saying. People
Decades.
loved those games. It didn't matter where you were from. When those games were happening, you turned them on.
Yes. And I think you're going to see the same thing that's going to happen this year.
You think
You're
so?
going to see all them teams in the AFC are so good.
The AFC, you think?
I think those divisional round games and the playoffs are going to be amazing.
Well, I'm talking, where do you think
Exhibition.
is going to be the next great rival? Who is going to be the next
I
great
think
rivalry?
the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and Denver.
You think all four?
All four of those teams are going to rival each other. It's going to be amazing to watch.
That division is going to be incredible. You know what else I think? The style of play in the NFL has ruined the rivalry. If you think back to like,
you know, when you got players speaking out against the style of play in the NFL, you got actual players. I just seen an interview with a Steelers safety. What was his name?
Mike Mitchell,
Mike Mitchell. Had come out. I don't know if you had seen it, Bruce.
Mullins, put it in right here.
Yeah. There was an interview with him, and he was talking about the state of football and about how players have signed up to play this game. It's a combat sport, and it should be treated as one. And when you start to soften it up, and if you are a soft player, you have no business being in there. You shouldn't come out. Don't even do it. These guys have busted their ass to get where they are, the pinnacle. You're just diluting the sport when the NFL, the commissioner, is taking over, as well as some of the soft players, and spouting about what should be done. They need to stay out of it, let these guys play.
They're
and
modern.
stop the bullshit.
They're modern day gladiators.
Well, like
Is how you're supposed to.
But it's not even,
Yeah,
they're not
that's
even
true.
gladiators
That's true.
anymore.
Every
This is all
stadium is a
scripted
coliseum,
bullshit.
and they're gladiators.
It's like wrestling.
fighting it.
that's the way it should
That's
be.
what it should be.
Yes.
But they're softening it up. The rules have diminished the game. The rules are diminishing the game. How many games have you seen
All about
decided
the
on
money.
bad calls in the past 5 years?
It's all about the money.
I agree. That's the way that it should be, but it's no longer that. Like, if you go back to, like, the Ray Lewis Ravens, they fucking hated the Steelers. Hated it.
Was there any rivalry as big as that?
No,
I mean,
that
those
was like,
games were so physical.
yes.
I remember watching Pittsburgh and the
Baltimore.
Ravens. And Stephen Ridley had just signed with the Ravens. He had come over from New England. Do you remember the running back, Stephen Ridley?
Absolutely.
So my man hit the corner, coming down, and I can't remember who hit him, but he hit him so hard, dude. They had to carry him off the field. Instant concussion. He was done for the
And
game.
I get it.
But them games were so physical. When you watched them, and if you're watching in high def, and you got
felt
surround
it.
sound, my God, that's taking it to another level.
Well,
The Bengals and the Cleveland Browns games too were the same way. Bengals and Steelers, same way. Hard hitting. And it used to be like this here. Detroit and Chicago, Detroit and Green Bay, them games were physical. They called it the black and blue division because these guys used to play so hard for them division games. It's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
And with
It doesn't exist anymore.
And with it went true rivalries. True
Yes.
team-on-team hatred, player-on-player hatred. We will die to win that game. There's no game
No.
that two NFL teams participate in anymore where one team is like, guess what? They have that circled. This is the game we're going to fucking win. We're going to show them.
No, because the Packers have
They're
been so
gone.
dominant in the past 10 years.
But there's none of that.
In
Nobody.
the division, you had Chicago come up there and steal one here and there. Maybe
Yeah.
Minnesota steal one. Minnesota hasn't been relevant since
5-6 years ago.
Hold on, let me think. Since Randall Cunningham was a quarterback
I don't
there.
know who that is. Well, no, they've made the playoffs a bunch of times. They've won division since then.
Yeah,
they're
but
not
they
like the
just
Lions
can't-
who
they
have
can't
not
get
won
there.
the division. The Lions have not won the fucking division in 30 years. 30 years.
Yeah,
Minnesota and Chicago steal one here or there every 5 years from Green Bay.
right.
That it is what it is. Green Bay is dominating. You're right.
What happens when you play in a division when you had Brett Favre for 20 years and now you got Aaron Rodgers for the past
20 years.
12 years,
So
13 years.
but the rivalries are dead. And that's really, really disappointing because some
That's
of
what
those.
taken away from it is the level of play.
Yeah.
Because Detroit has been a dumpster fire since the mid 80s,
But still,
early 90s.
still we
Detroit has
have-
been good since the early 90s.
still we have one of the truest the hardcorest fan bases, in my opinion.
Yeah, but obviously
Because-
it doesn't mean that much.
I'm on the borderline of becoming an alcoholic because of the line.
But
Are you?
Yeah.
But why?
anyway.
Drink
You don't
myself to
get.
death.
The only time I like you is when you're drinking. So don't
You
go
don't
there.
get that. It's not. The game loses an entire aspect to it when
When it's so one-sided.
don't wanna kill
like
each
the
other.
Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Ohio State just ripped off 10 in a row.
Right.
12 in a row.
right
What has Michigan done?
this year was the first year.
It's the first year they came out and won a game against Ohio State in 12 years.
Yeah,
This is the thing. Nobody really cared about the national championship. We just wanted to. Beat
everybody just
Ohio
wanted to beat
State.
Ohio
Oh,
State.
you don't want to know
But
why?
see-
Nobody cared about the national championship.
Because we knew we were going to get our
Because
ass
anybody
pumped.
that had a brain knew they were going to get their tanks handed to them. And what happened?
But this, I think it's a combination of these things. You have fair weather fandom.
Mm-hmm.
You have the style of play not being anything what it used to
soft.
be. Nobody wants to hit each other anymore.
Nope.
And on top of that, players don't play football anymore for the love of the game.
No, it's all about
That's
money.
the third
It's about
part.
money.
Everything now is about the finances, and I get it. Part of doing this job, because at the end of the day, NFL players are doing their job by playing football. But part of doing that job is to be prideful of yourself, have pride in your team, and want to achieve something that very few have ever done. And there's only a couple of guys where you look at them and you say, they love this game. They die hard, at the end of the day, love being a football player. Tom Brady, I know you're going to roll your... The guy, to play 20 fucking 2 years, you've got to love the game. You've got to love the fucking game. Ray Lewis loved the game. Ed Reed loved the game. I think Russell Wilson loves the fucking game.
I put Sue on there too.
The Ndamukong Suh.
He's a dirty player.
Nobody played with that kind of... He was one of the last people who played with that fuck you, I will actually kill you. Actually kill you type of passion.
Didn't Kelly Stafford say that's what he said?
Yeah, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah, they hated each other.
You know why? Because Matt Stafford kicked him in the bag. That's why.
No, that was after the fact. They hated
It
each
doesn't
other
matter.
the
He
entire
kicked him in the
time
bag.
they were playing here.
I seen the play. He did that shit on purpose.
Well, no shit.
He did it on purpose.
No shit. Because Sue got that call that one year that what was that, against Green Bay? Who was that? I don't even remember.
Stomped on it.
He stomped on a dude.
Ndamukong
He did.
Suh-
That
He
put
did
us in a
stomp on Aaron Rodgers.
and that put us
Hey,
in a
he did.
shitty position.
He deserved to get suspended for that. Absolutely.
But you know what? Fuck it. Back
I
in
would've
the
done the
day,
same thing.
back in the
Listen,
day,
Yeah.
I remember who was it? That bit a guy while he was on the ground.
Spikes.
DeKale Spikes?
Brandon Spikes.
DeKale Spikes. He played for Cleveland. Or not Cleveland, Cincinnati.
No.
He bit a dude. Hey, there used to be punches thrown.
Who poked the one guy's eye out?
That
was Brandon
was
Spikes,
way
wasn't it?
back. Way back.
Vontez Burfict.
Vontez Burfict is one of my favorite players
Navarro Bowman.
of all time is Vontez Burfict. Burfict was so feared. At one point, I think the Steelers put a hit out on him. They hated him so bad, they wanted him gone.
Yeah, but-
and they've actually changed the rules, and they drove him out of the league because of his borderline dirty play. He just played so hard and so physical that they wanted to do away with him.
See, I miss that aspect of the game.
And
you wanna
that
know
aspect
something?
is sorely missing. I think there's a lot of guys
I think there's a lot of players.
a lot of players out there that want to play that way and can't because they're
Right.
restricted from doing it. Guys like Chandler Jones, guys like him, they
Cam
want
Chancellor.
to be Cam Chancellor. I hate Pete Carroll. And Cam Chancellor
There
is
it
one of
is.
the reasons why I hate fucking Pete Carroll. Yes, I'm going to mention his name, the scumbag.
There we go.
Pete Carroll. He drove Cam Chancellor out. He did not want to sign him. He was the fucking heart and soul of the Legion of Boom, and they let him go.
Yeah.
They sent him packing. And why no other team in the NFL? I don't even think he wanted to play for another team. He was a diehard Seahawk.
Yeah.
And wanted to fucking retire a Seahawk.
That was his team.
And they chose not to re-sign him. And they systematically broke that team up.
Yep, and that's
Earl
too bad.
Thomas was gone. Cliff Averill was gone. And systematically they just dismantled that whole team. And I blame Pete Carroll for that. Pete Carroll is a fucking scumbag.
So, with all that said, what's next now, right? And now that you're losing this massive aspect of the game, which is the physicality. The lack of physicality leads the fans to become not nearly as invested and the players not to become nearly as invested, which means you've ultimately lost rivalries. Because if the players don't want to go out there and there's a part of them that wants to kill the guys who are lining up across from them, you lose that fire from the game.
You know what? I say bring back Bountygate. Bring it back. I mean, fuck, man. Was there any game? Now, I don't know if you guys were, how old you guys were when that game went on between the Vikings and
The same.
the Saints
Yep.
with Brett Favre in his last few years there with Minnesota, but I have never seen a playoff game as hard hitting as that Vikings Saints game.
Exactly.
As that game. Jonathan Vilma was an absolute monster in that game. And I remember talking to your dad about that game, and he said, did you see Brett Favre after that game? It looked like he was in a fucking boxing match. He was bruised. His face was bruised. Every bit of his body was bruised. He was fucking limping off the field. That's how physical that game was. My man was getting fucking hammered after every play. He was picking himself up off the ground. You do not fucking see that anymore. Because you want to know why? You're not allowed to touch these guys anymore. And it's absolute bullshit. It's fucking ruined the game. And your true pure guys that watch this shit, like myself, are disgusted by the way it's turning into.
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you. And it's not even for the aspect. We obviously don't want guys to go out there and get hurt.
No, I'm not.
I don't want to see
listen, I don't want to
career-enders,
see
stretchers
anybody
and-
fucking stretchered off. I've seen
No.
guys stretchered off.
Yeah.
I was at the game Mike Utley was stretchered off. I was at a lot of these fucking games. Reggie Brown. I was at the game at the Silverdome when Reggie Brown got hurt real bad. He was a linebacker for the Lions. He never fucking played again. I was at those games.
Right.
And them games were played hard. It was hard, physical games. And you know what? You cannot take nothing away from them guys. They knew what they were getting into. They knew it. And to this day, I bet you if you asked Mike Utley, would you have given anything up? That was just a fluke play. He fell, hit his head on the fucking ground, and became paralyzed. You know, it happens. But you've seen less injuries back then than you do now.
Well, yeah, now
There was not as many injuries.
all the injuries now are non-contact.
It's
ACL,
bullshit.
It's literally- yeah, it's all because of the turf.
bullshit.
It's
Because
all
as
because of the turf.
as a defensive player, you're trying to fucking target a certain person's place on somebody's body instead of just playing with instinct and reaction. Because they can't do it anymore. Because if you fucking lead with your head, you're going to get thrown out. If you hit a quarterback below the knees or above the fucking chest, it's a penalty. And it's the truth. It's the truth. How many games have you seen a quarterback barely get touched and a fucking roughing the passer call come out?
Oh yeah.
It happens in every
can't even
game
roll it
that I
95% of the
watch.
games that were played
Every
last
game
year.
I watch, I see a fucking roughing the passer that is not roughing the passer, and it's called every time. And it's cost so many teams games over the years.
Look what
need to
that has
fuck off
turned us
with that.
into as fans, though. Think about it now. I go to the bar and watch the game. Everyone freaks out when the quarterback gets touched. Oh, that's roughing the passer. Now everyone's changed into that narrative. Oh, you touched my quarterback, so that should be a fucking penalty.
Well,
That's changing.
yeah,
It's changing everything. It's changing.
and there's
the
a
fans,
part
it's
of that.
Changing
The
everything.
problem is with not protecting the quarterback is franchises are so utterly quarterback dependent now.
It's about money. It's
If-
not
it's
about
all about
anything
money.
but
if you
money.
lose your
It's not
starting
about heart
quarterback,
anymore,
your
it's
season's
about
over.
money.
Right?
That's what it
the
is.
Day's gone. The day's gone of Drew Bledsoe getting hurt and Tom Brady coming in and taking them to the Super Bowl.
Well, here's
Gone.
the thing.
That's gone.
That's what we're saying because you don't know what's behind the other guys. These guys that are backup guys don't get any chance to play.
No. I mean, unless
don't.
you get a
Unless
They
you play
don't.
for the
How
Lions.
would-
unless you
How
get a
would
Carson
you
Wentz,
like to
Nick
be-
Foles situation.
How would you like to be the guy backing up Pat Mahomes?
Yeah. How do you?
You're
does
not
anybody even
cute.
know who it is?
How would you like to be
But
behind
am I
a
complaining because I'm
flamboyant
getting paid? It's just
Pat
gonna-
Mahomes?
Does
ton of
anybody
money to sit
even
behind.
know who the Chiefs' backup quarterback
Who is the Chiefs' backup quarterback?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Gabagoo.
Who is it? Trent Dilfer?
Probably.
Who is it? And it
There's our
doesn't
Trent
matter.
Dilfer.
He's
Joe-
not
There
gonna-
it is.
Joe
He's not going to
Theismann?
see the field. It doesn't matter.
Right. We still have,
Andy Reid is his backup.
David Blow.
Oh God.
We still have David.
Listen. The point I'm trying to make is this: until they get a hold of that. And I don't think they're ever going to change it. I see it getting worse and worse and worse.
There is no more
Because
heart in the
as
game.
soon as a high-profile player goes down with something stupid, that's when you see these stupid rules come in.
Okay.
It's like anything else.
Ain't
this
nobody
leads me
rapping
into my
about
next
love no
thing.
more.
Huh?
Shout out to J. Cole.
This leads me into my next thing. Baseball, the upper management ownership have made it so much about money and so much about politics and bullshit, and the game has changed so much, and the issues with umpiring and everything else, that a lot of baseball fans, the way the game is played, how boring the game is now, the lack of home runs and big hits, and the lack of entertainment, the bullshit with the money, the bullshit politics, and the horrific officiating of the game
They're destroying their
has
sport.
led them to into the ground. Baseball. Who do you know that die hard loves baseball? That goes out of their way to watch baseball games on TV. That loves going to the ballpark
you
for
wanna
something
know
other
why?
than beer and hot dogs.
Do you want to know why it's headed where it's headed right now? Do you really want to know why?
Sure.
Number one, they've never gotten a hold of their money situation. They've never taken care of the entire league. It's a few teams, and that's it. All the other teams is like, fuck you. This is Major League Baseball, period. When everybody was juiced and smashing the ball out of the park,
Everybody
nobody
watched.
was talking about that.
No,
Everybody
everybody
loved
loved it.
They came out of the strike season. Oh my God, baseball's dead. You know what? It was fucking dead. You could have threw the dirt on it.
Till Barry Bonds
What
hit
happened?
50 fucking home runs.
No, you know what happened? Sosa McGuire going for the fucking record. This is what Bonds was just getting turned on to steroids by this time.
Oh.
He wasn't full blown
Sosa,
in
you
it
mean
yet.
Sammy Sosa?
Sammy Sosa
And Mark McGwire.
McGwire. They were going. It wasn't only that.
McGwire. I was
Hey,
like, what?
you had Griffey too. Ken Griffey Jr. was in
Yeah.
that mix, but Griffey got hurt.
Yeah.
Griffey had 58 or 59 and got hurt, dude. And he was out of the race.
That everybody loved.
Everybody and their mom was
That's-
watching that. Dude, Mark McGwire was just didn't
Well,
look
that was
human, dude.
that was before. Yeah, he looked like an alien.
the
Yeah,
guy was a
baseball
fucking
used to be
tomahawk.
America's
Before my time.
sport.
I still have it at home. I have my kid's size XL Barry Bonds jersey because I couldn't wait to come home and watch the San Francisco Giants play to see if Barry
Was there
Bonds
anything
was gonna
better than
hit a
watching
home
Barry
run.
Bonds smashing home runs out of that park
500
into the
fucking
fucking
feet
bay,
into the river.
into the
yes.
bay?
Yes, that was
Into
the
San
best.
Francisco Bay.
Right.
Smash.
Right.
500 yards.
And
Yeah.
baseball ruined that.
Baseball, well, here's the thing. Then you had Jose Canseco come out and talked about all the people that were juicing. He did that for himself.
Right.
He did that for himself.
Clear his
He
name.
wanted he wanted the fans to know exactly what was going on. They persecuted him. They persecuted Canseco for telling the truth.
But-
A-Rod.
I'm sorry?
See, I grew up to A-Rod.
Well, I'm just telling you,
A-Royd.
he was juicing too.
Okay.
No, that's why.
They were
That's-
all fucking doing it.
But
Yeah.
The pitchers were doing it too.
Like Christopher's such a hard-on for
But
A-Rod.
fundamentally, sports are a form of entertainment for us.
They are. And you know what?
That was
I say this.
entertaining.
They asterisked Barry Bonds' record because he was fucking using and refused to admit it, so they ousted him. They blackballed him. And it was bullshit. They were all doing it.
Right.
They brought the sport back. If it wasn't for them guys smashing the home runs, if it wasn't for Rogers Clemens throwing 100 miles an hour for 9 fucking innings and
Yeah.
striking out 30 fucking guys at the plate, give me a
There's
break.
not even 30 batters in a game.
I know that.
27 outs.
I'm being a facetious
But,
there.
okay.
If it wasn't for the Randy Johnson fucking killing seagulls with one of his pitches, you ever see him blow a fucking
Yes,
seagull up?
yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
But, okay.
But he was also 6'10".
Yeah.
And could throw like a fucker.
But that's what I'm saying. Just like baseball died because they took the entertainment out of the game.
Correct.
Football being
Well, you know
so
what? I
injury
heard that
conscious-
baseball on purposely fucked with the balls. That the balls are fucking like sandbags now.
Either way,
That's what I was hearing. I don't know how true it was.
listen,
But it's
I'm
like
trying,
the balls are dead. If you watch the balls now, when these guys are hitting the balls, they don't jump off the bats like they used to. I still think they're,
I'm trying to make the
fucking around.
comparison here.
huh?
I'm not talking about what's fundamentally wrong with baseball. I'm trying to make the comparison
Well, I just hate baseball.
that
So
just like baseball, because everything got to be about making sure the players got paid. Well, hey, newsflash.
well, the NBA is like that too.
We're not even going to go into the basketball thing, but right?
Yeah, because we know how
Baseball-
disgusting it is.
Baseball players all wanted to get paid. They got paid. Now this going right for a quarterback's $50 million. So we've made it there. The ownership and everybody else is so politically correct and so worried about image, just like baseball was. And now the most
Because
entertaining.
if you don't, what's gonna happen to you is what happened to Dan Schneider.
If-
You're gonna get run out of the league.
Now, in the final straw for baseball was you take away the most entertaining part of the game, which was, for all intents and purposes, the steroids. Like he said, that gave you the home runs. They gave you the 105-mile-per-hour Joel Zumaya pitches, right? That's what it gave you. In football, it was that teeth-shattering hit. It was the bone breakers. It was Ray Lewis. It was Cam Chancellor. It was Burfict. It was Bowman. It was fucking Dick, what's his name? Help me.
Dick Tracy.
Night Train Lane.
No, those guys. Listen, those guys used to drink beer and then go play.
And if you take that out,
you're taking that physicality.
you're going to
out
end
of
up
the
where
game.
baseball is
You're
eventually.
going to end up exactly where the baseball is right now. If they keep it up and they keep getting political, they will end up like the NBA and what the NBA is now, a total shit show.
I mean, stop and think about it. James Harrison,
I watched the video of him working out,
Steve Atwater.
and my man was bench pressing like 500 pounds, and there was a guy spotting him, and he's lifting it, and he's lifting it, he's struggling with it. He told that guy, if you touch it, I'll fucking kill you, while he's working out. That's the
Hey,
kind of
that's
guy
what I
want on my team.
Fuck you.
Right. Jack Tatum.
Well, Jack Tatum's before I was a little kid.
But the bone shattering guy. You take that out of the
Ronnie
game.
Lott. Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott's another great
Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater was probably one of the hardest hitting safety. He was a 6'4", 230-pound safety. I mean, everybody was talking about what's his name this year. The one kid, the kid from Notre Dame that just went in the draft.
Oh my God. I'm having a
Kyle
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Steve Atwater was a bruising version of Kyle Hamilton.
But that's what I'm kind of worried about. I'm worried that if you continue on this trend,
that it's going to ruin the game.
that you're going to end up where
Absolutely.
baseball is right now, and nobody
Well,
wants to watch it.
Here's the thing. Football is king. Everybody loves it. It's where all the money's at. And I would stack football against baseball and basketball, and they still couldn't match what the NFL does.
I agree.
As far as bringing in money.
But I just don't want to see. Nobody wants to watch a watered down version of something.
No, and that's what it's getting to.
Yeah.
That's what it's getting to.
So
Because they're handcuffing guys too much. They want to see offense. The NFL wants to see 45 points a game. They want to see offense.
well,
They don't want to see the monsters of the Midway, the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. They don't want to see that stuff.
No.
They don't want that. The NFL
Legion
does
of
not
Boom.
want it. Huh?
the Legion of Boom.
The Legion of Boom. Nobody wants that anymore.
But
they
you
don't
know
want
what
to
we
see
do
that
want?
stuff.
You know what we do want?
That's what I want.
You know what I want?
I want to see the Legion of Boom.
Do you want?
I want to see the 2000 Ravens.
Do you want to know what
slash
I want?
Cleveland
You want
Browns.
to know what I want?
What?
I want to see Pete Carroll be the next commissioner of the NFL.
You want to see him what?
Be the next commissioner.
You're gonna give him a heart attack. Well,
Very nice day today.
I
That
hope
was good.
so.
It was nice to talk about something, that wasn't just so.
I
Cut
you know
and
what?
dry.
I'm so much have had it with just society in general lately.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
Everybody
It's
needs
gonna
to
get
wake the
sketchy.
fuck up. I'm sorry?
This is gonna get sketchy
What do you mean sketchy? Why?
because you in society.
I'm
don't
gonna
get
be
along all
really
that
nice
well.
about it.
Oh, okay.
Everybody needs to stand up, dust the fucking dirt off of them, wipe the tears away, and stop being a bunch of fucking crybabies, because it's utterly ridiculous. If
There's the name of this episode.
Something
Are
is
you
said
ready?
that people don't
Utterly
like.
ridiculous.
They're gonna just oust them out. Oh, you can't say that about
You're
this
talking about
person.
cancel culture.
I cancel
You think
culture?
that we should do
Is that
away
what I'm
with
saying?
cancel culture?
Yes, you should do away with fucking cancel culture because it's stupid.
Do you know you saying to do away with cancel culture will probably
Why?
get us canceled?
Why?
Because you need to be more woke.
I need to be woke. Let me tell you
He's
something.
too based to be woke.
God bless America.
God bless
That's all I'm going to
the
say.
USFL.
God bless Jeff Fisher.
Whatever happened
This
with
fucking
that?
clown, dude.
Is it
He's-
over now?
He's this shit. Not yet. He's this
How many
shitty
games have the Panthers won?
one. They're
Anyways.
like 1-7, 1-8.
Tradition of
Jeff-
excellence.
and,
Jeff
and,
Fisher.
and I'll tell you what, he's as inept now as he was back with the Tennessee
You
Titans.
sat here and told everybody how he was the next fucking Messiah.
Listen to me. I was just happy that he took the job
Why?
because I thought he had enough
He's a
NFL
fucking
experience
They're 1-7.
to make a difference. He's an idiot.
Anyways,
What? He's good on the rules committee. He's not a good coach.
make sure to follow
God
us on our
bless the
socials.
Panthers, by the way.
What was that?
God bless the Panthers, Michigan Panthers.
Not
I'm
Carolina.
a diehard fan. I love them.
Fuck that shit.
They ain't gonna have a team by next
Yeah,
year. if
that'll
they're
be- that'll be
1-7.
a
I don't
Yeah,
care.
well,
I still think they got the baddest colors there is. You know what? The Lions should adopt their colors.
Maroon and baby
They're-
blue.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
No,
Gotta admit.
bring back the black jerseys, baby.
Panthers never had black jerseys.
No,
No,
he's talking about the
talking
fucking
about the
Lions. Okay.
Oh, forget about the black. I hate that
Hey,
black.
Dan
dude.
Campbell
Are you
repped
fucking
the black.
kidding me,
I want to
dude?
hear it.
You better not bring that shit back. I didn't like it at all.
How?
What color do you like? What Lions uniform do you like the best?
All blue with gray stripes.
Say that again.
All blue with the gray stripes.
Silver.
What do you like?
Silver, whatever.
I mean, well, all blue. He's right. All blue.
All
with, with the silver. But I mean, I think you can make the black and blue look
No.
I hate
sick.
that.
I don't
look.
like the black.
You know which one I like the best?
sick.
I like their throwbacks
The
the best.
1960s.
No,
All
it's
silver
the
helmets?
57. The 57. It's the gray pants, all blue socks, black shoes, silver fucking helmet
With the blue stripe or no?
No
the
logo.
blue face mask, no logo.
No logo.
And
They
just
wear
the
those on
plain-
They wear those
hey,
on Thanksgiving.
The plain Lions jersey, just with the number on it. That's it. Nothing else. No
You don't
stripes.
like, you don't like
no
the
nothing.
WC. What is
Listen,
it?
that's the elderly in him talking, okay?
What do you mean?
That
I don't.
That's the throwback uniform.
I feel like
You
everybody
ask
wants
any
the black
Lions
jersey.
fan
the
out
Lions
there,
have a shitty
they're-
throwback uniform. The Lions
best.
throwback. No, it's not. That's bullshit. You want to know who has cool throwback uniforms? Tampa, New England, Denver,
Tampa's
Seattle.
79. What do you
New
fucking
England- New
mean
England
throwback?
has-
Creamsicle jersey. That's
What
one of the
about
best
it?
throwback
Yeah.
jerseys ever. The Pat the
Chargers.
Patriot red one. One of the best. The Chargers powdered blue. The Seahawks white and lime. Those are great throwback jerseys. Not
The
ones
white
that the
line
Lions.
is not even throwback.
The Lions throwback jerseys look like something that fucking high school would
love
wear.
the Lions.
That's the St. Joan
throwback.
of Arc Chargers New Jersey. Anyways, please. It's a great throwback.
Hey,
There's
that's
never
my-
a fucking
that's
logo
my team,
on it.
man.
It's not supposed to be.
That was
from
back when-
1957.
Listen, the jersey needs to go the way of the fucking Model T, okay? They're both old and shitty. All right? You want a good throwback? Here you go. That's a good throwback right there.
What?
Right
Miami
there.
Dolphins?
Yes. Those are good throwbacks.
Isn't that the throwback right there?
What?
Actually, that
For the
Buffalo
Charger-
Bill
the
helmet,
Char-
that's
the Chargers?
a throwback.
That's cool as shit.
You know what that's from, right? That's from 76 right there.
It's older. Holy fuck.
Did you know that?
Pat the Patriot's one of the
That's a
best. of all time.
76. That
Bulldog?
Rams helmet, that is the original Rams helmet from the 60s.
They still.
The
wear those.
Todd Gurley one? With
Yeah.
the white?
They still
that-
wear
That's
those.
cool as shit.
The Rams were white and blue.
Now
there
they're-
was
now
no
they're-
gold.
They wear
They're
those.
this
They wear
colors
those
now.
sometimes though.
They're these colors.
Well, yeah, but
No,
I've
but
seen
that's
'em
the
wear-
original
That's
Rams
the OG shit.
was that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on our socials at
I'm gonna
Tip
be
Balls
honest
on.
with you, dude.
Okay.
I think that flat black is absolutely amazing.
No, that looks
He just said black.
No,
and
no,
you
no, no,
told
no.
him to go fuck himself.
That-
Like this helmet on the Colts.
that
Flat
looks way too high schoolish.
What does?
That matte black with the
Matte black? I like
Yeah,
the matte black.
Way too high.
I like
schoolish.
that for the Colts. I don't like the Lions black. I don't like that. You're going to do black, change all the fucking colors. Change the whole color scheme and forget about it. Get
They
rid
should
of
at
the
least
fucking
be
blue
on
and silver.
alternate jerseys.
Get rid of the Honolulu blue and silver. Get rid of it.
Just go to blue.
What would you do?
What?
I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite uniform of theirs is the all silver, all gray. I like that look better than all of them.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh,
I have no
outside
idea.
outside their 57 uniforms,
Okay, thank
I would go with that.
The all blue is where it's at.
I don't
like-
like this one.
I like-
don't like that one. That's the one they're
That's
talking
terrible.
about bringing the black shit back.
That's terrible.
Those are poop.
The current uniforms are awesome.
Nah, they're
Don't
okay.
touch
I
them.
like them.
They're okay.
Don't touch
I
'em.
don't mind them.
They're okay.
Don't touch them.
I don't mind them.
I like on Madden. You can get the one from the 50s where it is the all silver with no logo, but it has the sick blue stripe. It's like blue, silver, blue, double stripe down the back. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But-
No, the uniforms are fine the way they are. I wouldn't touch them. If you're gonna use throwbacks, go to a different team. These Lions throwbacks are trash.
Well, the thing's up so they can change whatever they want now.
You know what? We'll throw a poll up there. What Lions alternate
I'm
uniform do you
telling
like
you, they're
better, the
gonna go with
black,
black.
or the
Gonna
fucking
go with black.
OG? If you haven't yet, make sure to follow our socials: Instagram at Tipballs, Twitter at Tipballs, TikTok at Tipballs Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Search Tipballs. You will find us. If you haven't yet, check out Tipped Gaming for all your latest video game updates. Watch Bruce play Call of Duty and smoke dope. You will absolutely love it. Follow our clan. That is Tipped_FUZE, Tipped Fuse. That's Ryan, our co-captain, and Bruce_Tugboat. That is the Tipped Gaming captain. Also, follow the master page at Tipped Gaming. Thank you so much for listening. Check out all those socials, and you'll hear from us again next week.